Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Closer to home, Lloydminster's incident management team organized a two-day functional exercise, including regional partners. Local stakeholders, including the media, also took part. With the daytime highs in Lloydminster inching above zero recently, snow is slowly starting to melt. But as part of a training exercise, Lloydminster's incident management team is testing their response in the event of an emergency situation.
At approximately 8:55 on Tuesday, March 29, it was reported that Lloydminster began experiencing overland flooding.
In this fictional scenario, Lloydminster saw heavy snow throughout the winter, followed by a very warm spring, with days of rain leading to heavy flooding all over the city.
Encouraging any residents who cannot safely occupy their homes to head for that shelter, traveling safely through trying to avoid the flooded areas, of course.
While the situation is fake, it gives city staff real-world learning opportunities.
We do training on an annual basis, but just putting that training into some hands-on perspective, getting some, kind of exercises in so that everybody's comfortable when we are called upon, if we need to enact it.
Lloydminster's manager of emergency management, Andrew DeGrucci, worked for Cold Lakes Fire Service before joining the city in September. He says this is the first exercise like this for the city since COVID.
For me, I'm still kind of building relations with internal staff as well and understanding what is our capacity with internal staff. So bringing this all together after we've done some training over the last 8 months since I've been onboarded is really good to see it all kind of come together.
On day one of the exercise, regional partners took the lead while city staff were under the microscope on day two. The teams worked out of the operations center instead of the RCMP building, and even before the exercise ended, important lessons were already learned.
Just understanding better of how we want to organize the room, how we want to display items on the wall, what it is that's going to be really useful to us for specific hazards is one of them. But a lot of it is just understanding what our staff strengths are. When we go through those planning P meetings, who's going to be best suited to provide what role for the city has been a good learning component for us.
Teams worked to organize command structures and coordinate resources with the goal of working collaboratively to find gaps in possible response in the event of a real-life emergency.
We've reached out to a few regional partners. There's some industrial, some neighboring municipalities of just how would we coordinate and collaborate on a response if any emergency impacted the city. And not even doing discussions on that, but if we're facilitating an exercise for it, let's put that to the test as well.
The city will continue to reflect on this exercise as they look ahead to more training planned for later this spring. And now let's check in with Shelby Clark for your first look at your evening weather forecast.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jason Mackey, for that introduction. Now taking a first look at your weather forecast here in the Border City on our Tuesday. We are just sitting at -4. So once again, that single digit, which is always nice to see, even though we are still in those minuses. Nice to see that we got some warmer conditions. We are seeing a slight more wind chill today than what we saw yesterday. So we are feeling around -9 right now, but we are looking slightly warmer as we are seeing a lot more sun peeking behind those clouds throughout the day. So that definitely helped warm things up. So hopefully everybody is enjoying this beautiful, I guess, kind of spring / winter kind of day. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. Most spots on our Alberta side are kind of matching with suit here in the Border City. The closest we are seeing there with Marwayne at -3. We are seeing lots of -1s for St. Paul, Vermilion, and down in Wainwright and over in Vegreville. And then we start to slightly warm up from there with some of these other areas. That 0-1 degree mark for Bonnyville and Cold Lake. Looking at 3 degrees up in Lac La Biche and the warmest over in Edmonton at 5. And then we got the coolest there for Provost just at -5. So, of course, Edmonton is seeing slightly warmer compared to the rest as they usually do. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side now, they are kind of matching with us with those conditions, with these temperatures. Most are just hitting that 0 mark from what it looks like up in these areas especially. Then we start to slightly cool down from there. -1 in Meadow Lake, while we have some that are matching with us, like St. Walburg and Maidstone. And then the coolest we are looking at on our Saskatchewan side is down in Macklin and North Battleford, just at -6. So still seeing those single digits. North Battleford, though, will be cooling down quite a bit for their evening low temperature at -20, so they will be hitting that low of -20 for their evening low temp. They won't be seeing a high chance of flurries, though, tonight. It'll be a pretty calm night, clear, but they will be cooling down quite a bit. They will be cooling down. So please make sure if you got any outdoor activities in North Battleford, you won't be doing too much tonight later on in the evening. Then their daytime high is -4 for tomorrow, and they will be expecting a lot more sunnier skies. So hopefully that'll help warm things up. Cold Lake will be going out to a low of -12, so they definitely will be looking at a nicer temperature than North Battleford tonight. They will be hitting those double digits, but just past it. They won't be seeing a high chance of flurries. It'll be pretty calm. And then for their Wednesday, Cold Lake will be looking at that +2, so that nice plus temperature and seeing a lot more sun peeking behind those clouds. So a beautiful day expected for their Wednesday. For us here in the Border City, we will be going down to a low of -15, so we will be cooling down quite a bit, almost kind of hitting that -20 mark, but just not quite yet. So we will be cooling down, but we won't be seeing a high chance of some snowfall. Then for our Wednesday, we will be looking at -2. So seeing that minus mark once again, but slightly warmer than what we saw today. So it will be nice to kind of warm things up, and seeing another sunnier day tomorrow expected. So be prepared for another beautiful day. And now looking at our 3-day forecast, we will be looking at that -2, but don't worry because we will be picking it up after that on Thursday and Friday. Looking at that 1 degree on Thursday and a much sunnier day, and Friday 4 degrees. So even looking at that +4 and a mixture of some sun and cloud as we start off our nice long weekend. So be prepared. We got some beautiful days ahead.
All right, thank you so much for that, Shelby. After the break, Saskatchewan's political parties join force in support of the RCMP depot. Lakeland College is hosting Farm 4.0, the future of agriculture, on April 13th, which will be a conference showing off the latest in agriculture tech. Here's Thomas Wildman with more.
Today we have Chloe Parent and Christian Taves. They are students at Lakeland College taking the Bachelor of Agricultural Technology program, and they are hosting a conference coming up later this April called Farm 4.0, the future of agriculture. And so they're going to tell us a little bit about that today. And so thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So what will be on display at the Farm 4.0 show?
So Farm 4.0 is the basis of the day is to show last year's practicums, like students' presentations and what they have been working on in their practicums. And another aspect of it is we have a trade show, which is an opportunity for students and community and industry to get to know one another.
Then you guys mentioned the practicum students. What exactly are they showing off from what they were doing during their practicum?
So the practicum students are just going over what they did over the summer. They're not really talking about the class itself. It's just their practicum. So they're pretty much showcasing what kind of jobs you can get through this program and what they entail and how their companies work.
Kind of what they accomplished in their practicum stint.
And then for that trade show, what technologies is the college itself going to be showing off, and what are some of the local businesses and companies going to be showing off at the trade show as well?
I know our school is going to be showing the Weed It that we have here. There's companies such as New Holland coming with equipment. We also have GoTech. There is a drone company that I can't remember the name of, but they are coming with a drone to show that off and just to show what they can offer for our students.
What responsibilities do you guys have being part of the planning committee for this show, and kind of what is it going to help you guys be able to learn and teach you guys for your future in the agriculture industry?
So Chloe and I are both on the marketing team, so she's kind of our team lead, so she takes care of everybody else that's kind of below her, and then she reports back to our Farm 4.0 leads, who then also report back to our instructor. But so right now I'm the one in charge of social media posts, trying to get the word out there. Chloe does a lot of that as well. There's other teams like the financial, so making sure we have the money, how much should we be charging for each booth, There's an exhibitor team, so they go out and they're the ones calling everybody, getting RSVPs, as well as Chloe's getting RSVPs. They're making sure these people can come. There's a hospitality team as well, so they're in charge of getting the food. What else? Booking the arena or whatever else we wanted to use. I think it's gonna help us we're learning right now how to be leaders and how to put on our own events. We're learning how to work by ourselves individually as in small groups, but then also taking that to a bigger group. So it's kind of nice to have all those different aspects together.
And then finally, what is the schedule looking like?
So it starts the doors open at 8 a.m. on April 13th at the Vermilion Regional Center. At 8:30, there's a welcome speech by Alice Stewart, and at 8:45 a.m., the panel presentations begin, which is all the practicum students, and the trade show opens. At 9 a.m., there is the first farm tour of the day, which will take students or anybody wanting to around the farm to showcase what we have here at the college. 11 to 1, there's lunch, there's concession going on.
Which is a cash concession.
Yeah. At 12:15 p.m., we have a keynote presentation, which is going to be about the Canadian Pan Smart Farm. And then at 1:15 p.m., the panel presentations resume. 1:30 p.m., the second farm tour starts. And then at 4:30 p.m., our event concludes.
Thank you, girls, so much for all of the information, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day coming up for the Farm 4.0 show.
You too.
Thank you for having
you.
us.
And now let's take a look at today's agriculture prices. Lloydminster Bobcats are holding their first ever Flavor Festival coming up soon. Our Zach Kenny spoke to their head coach for more.
So I'm here with Nigel Dubé on the Bobcats Flavor Festival coming up in May. So Nigel, can you tell us just a little bit about what this event is going to be?
Yeah, so the Flavor Festival, it's the first time we've done this. I think first time it's been to the border city of its kind, and it'll be May 13th at Floyd Exhibition. We'll have both food vendors there and then also drink vendors, which include spirits, beers, and all kinds of things like that. So we're looking forward to it. We have many vendors coming. We're targeting about 24 vendors total, and it should be a great evening and an opportunity for everybody to kind of sample different foods and different drinks and see what they like.
And will you be able to tell us the admission costs for the Flavor Festival as well?
Early bird prices are on sale right now. They're $20 and they can be purchased on Eventbrite. And then it goes up, be $25 and then $30 at the door. And then once you get in, you buy your tokens for your samplings, and the amount of tokens vary depending on the kind of drink and the kind of food too as well.
And what other kind of vendors will be at this event? Could you possibly give us a specific?
Well, on the drink side of it, for example, we have a local one like Fourth Meridian. We have Last Mountain Distillery coming in from outside. We also have Lucky Bastard Distillery coming in. Lake Life Company to Saskatoon, which is like a seltzer. On the food side, it ranges from anything from like a slider to a dessert to sushi to even a coffee. So the food is all different too as well. So I think it's unique because the wide variety of both the food and drinks that you can sample all within the same place.
And will there be anything else other than the tasting of the food and the drinks at this event?
Sampling will be going on the whole time, and then there'll be live entertainment too. So we have different local artists coming in and bands coming in right from here in the border city, and they'll be playing the whole from 6 p.m. until midnight, and it should be a fun evening too as well to try new food, try new drinks, listen to music, and have conversation with the peers.
And is there anything else you'd like to bring up that I just possibly haven't covered in our conversation so far?
Yeah, I think you've covered it all. It's the first time that it's coming to the border city, and it also associates with the Lloydminster Bobcats. So if there are any proceeds that are made off of this, it goes to the Lloydminster Junior Bobcats, and we still have sponsorship opportunity available, and they can reach out to us if somebody would be interested.
And I think that should be everything. Well, thank you again, Nigel, for coming to speak with us today.
Perfect. Thanks for having us.
That's going to be a great time. Coming up now, though, is Shelby Clark with a look at weather.
Thank you so much again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking another extended look at your weather forecast. We'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. On the Alberta side, we are still seeing those plus temperatures, but slightly cooler than what we were looking at yesterday for this area especially. We are still seeing some nice temperatures though. Can't really complain. Looking at that -1 in Red Deer, that seems to be the only minus mark on this side, and of course besides us here in the border city, but we're 50-50, so not too bad. The warmest we are looking at is Edmonton, still sitting at 5 degrees. 4-degree mark up in Athabasca, while the rest are just sitting around 2 to 3 degrees. So still seeing some nice conditions on our Alberta side. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are looking slightly cooler. They all are seeing those minus points still. They were kind of seeing this yesterday, and they seem to be continuing that track as they are looking at cooler conditions compared to our Alberta side. -1 in Meadow Lake, while the rest are just seeing -5, and most are just sitting at -6, and that seems to be the coolest condition yet on the Saskatchewan side. So definitely looking slightly cooler. Going over to our northern zone now, they have warmed up slightly actually compared to what they have been seeing not only just yesterday, but even looking slightly warmer compared to what we are looking at in our central zone. So our Saskatchewan side and our northern zone seems to be seeing those minuses, but still seeing those nice single digits. -2 seems to be the most popular temperature on this side. -3 in Wollaston Lake, while Stony Rapids and Uranium City are looking at the coolest conditions at -4, and the warmest we are seeing on this side is South End at that 3-degree mark. So definitely looking at a switch up in South End as they are now seeing those plus temperatures. Switching over to our Alberta side now to check them out. In our northern zone, they are looking slightly warmer than what they saw yesterday. The coolest we are seeing is one spot, Fort Chipewyan, and is the only one with that minus point now for today at -1. We are seeing that 0 mark now for Fort McMurray and High Level, and then of course these areas seem to be continuing some warmer conditions compared to the rest on this side. 1-degree mark over in Grand Prairie, while Peace River and Slave Lake seem to be seeing the warmest conditions there with 2 and 3 degrees. And as we go over to our southern zone, definitely a switch up for today. They were looking slightly warmer yesterday, but now they are definitely looking at the coolest conditions that I would say for our Alberta side. After we've looked in all the zones for our central and our northern, southern seems to be the coolest point. -3 now for Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, while Coronation continues that cool track with that -7 as usually Coronation sees the coolest conditions. Just hitting that 1-degree mark in Calgary, and Banff is looking at the warmest just at 2 degrees. So they are looking slightly cooler for today. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they have cooled down even more from what they were looking at yesterday. They, of course, were seeing those minus points as well in all areas on our Saskatchewan side here in our southern zone, but now they are even getting closer to those double digits. -10 now in Swift Current, while the rest are looking slightly closer with -9 up in Kindersley. -8 degrees in Moose Jaw. Regina is just at -7, and then Estevan and Yorkton seem to be kind of the warmest compared, just at -6, but they are definitely seeing some cooler conditions for right now. Now, as we look at some overnight evening lows for tonight, we will be cooling down quite a bit for our evening low temperatures in our surrounding areas, as we are going to be hitting those double digits once again. Of course, we are seeing these switch ups every now and then as we head more into the spring season. We sometimes see some nice single digits expected for our evening lows, and now we are getting closer to those -20s once again for tonight. So Provost will be seeing the coolest with that low of -19, a low of -16, 17 for Paradise Hill and Meadow Lake, and then we have Bonnyville and Isle La Crosse looking at a low of -11. So we definitely will be expecting those double digits for tonight, but the best part, and on the upside, we won't be seeing a high chance of some flurries in these surrounding areas. It will be a pretty clear and calm night. And now ending off with looking at our hourly forecast for our Wednesday here in the border city. We will be starting off slightly cooler with those double digits, -15, the coolest. And as we go through mid-afternoon and our daytime high, we will be just reaching that -2, which will be nice. And then we only will be cooling down to around -9 because don't worry, we will be warming up after our Wednesday here in the border city. Well, that's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackey will have more news coming up after the break.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we have two of probably the cutest puppies that I've ever seen. They've been here for a while, but they're up for foster to adopt. Tell me a little bit about who they are and what foster to adopt means.
So yeah, these guys are about 7 weeks old. It was a litter of 6. They were actually born in our care. So what foster to adopt is, they're not quite ready to be adopted. They're still going to need their spays. And so we would like to get them into a home, like a foster home, but a foster to adopt. Then that way, you know, they're already in their environment, and then you just hang on to them and take care of them until we can get their spays done, and then they go up for adoption. So if you're interested in them, we just get them into your home first without the adoption, and then once they're ready to go, you adopt them.
And whoever fosters them, they're going to be the ones to adopt.
Absolutely.
Right after you do all the
exactly. It's just a little
and
bit easier than us putting, you know, them in foster and getting them back and kind of thing. So if the people are interested in getting them, we just think it's a bit easier to get them in there ahead of time. Then they're not hanging out at the shelter too while they're waiting for their spay, right? I mean, they're getting pretty big, so we're kind of, you know, getting a little too big for our kennels.
And is the process to put them or grab them for a foster, is that the same kind of process as adopting them?
So it's a little different. So you will just head to our website, and you're actually going to hit the foster application, and then it goes to our foster coordinator, and then she just kind of does her background check, right? We do ask for references now, and she'll kind of look in to see who's the best fit, and then she will contact you and get you to come down and pick up your puppy.
And are these the only two that are up for foster to adopt?
Absolutely. So the other 4 are all spoken for. These 2 are not spoken for yet. There may have been a few applications, but we just do what's the best fit. A lot of people may apply, but we're just going to pick the person that's the best fit for these dogs, because you got to keep in mind too, these are going to be very big dogs. They're only 7 weeks old, and they probably weigh a good 10-12 pounds already, so if not more.
And have you seen a bit of their personalities in the last few weeks that you've had them here?
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. They're starting to get a little crazy, aren't they? Yeah, Des hangs out with them more than I do. So yeah, no, they're your typical puppy, right? You're going to have your chewing stage. I mean, a lot of people don't take that into account. Puppies are going to chew their teething, right? Just like a baby. So you'll have that, you know, they still need to be trained, you know, to go outside. But so yeah, you definitely have your work cut out with puppies, that's for sure. And they like to chew on everything, as you can see.
Which is, again, typical puppies. I've had a puppy that's done that and continues to do that. So it's just always kind of a learning curve with them. Just get them used to the space and the environment that they're in. Now you have an adoption event tonight, 4th Meridian. Tell me a little bit about that and what people should know if they want to come out.
So yeah, we have tonight, we'll be at 4th Meridian from 4 to 7. So it's kind of a perfect opportunity to come have some delicious beer, and we're gonna have some kittens there. So we'll have about 5 kittens there that are all up for adoption. 3 of them haven't had their surgery quite yet, but if you're interested, we can kind of get that ball rolling, and then 2 will be ready right on spot. So yeah, no, we say come out. It's very nice for 4th Meridian hosting us, so come show your support for them as well as your support for us.
And since it's officially spring, you guys are going to be doing kind of like a spring cleaning. What does that entail for the animals that are here?
So yeah, starting tomorrow, we are going to have a Name Your Price event, spring cleaning. So basically, you can name your price on adoptions. It's going to be on adults, so not including puppies and kittens. Not that we have that many puppies and kittens, but so it's a minimum $20 donation on adult cats. So you can get a cat for $20. And then our adult dog, so anything over 6 months is considered adult, is going to be $50. So you cannot beat that price. I mean, if people want to give more, it is by donation, so we always appreciate more. But yeah, cats will be $20 minimum donation, and dogs are $50 minimum donation. So just with the spring coming, we'd love to clear out the shelter. Kitten season is going to be starting soon. We're going to be full again here right away. So if we can clear everybody out to make space for, I'm sure, all the millions of animals that will be coming in the next little bit. So.
And the application process is still the same with that?
The exact same. So we still do, like, even if you know you are interested and you don't know, you can always fill out your application ahead of time, and then that way you could leave the same day. If not, you can fill it out here, and it will usually take no more than 24 hours to get back to you.
Which is awesome. I think that's a great idea and a good incentive to not only get donations for you guys, but if somebody really wants a pet but they can't always afford the prices, they can do a donation and get, you know, the cat that they want,
Exactly.
which is awesome. Now, same question every week. Is there any donations that you're currently in need of or something that could help you guys?
So I know blankets always, dog and puppy food we can always use. We still have a couple puppies, so we have a few puppies still in foster care that haven't quite made our website yet. So yeah, any puppy food, dog food, and then we're really doing good on cat wet food, but cat kibble we're definitely desperately in need, so we could use that for sure as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And these puppies are so adorable and typical puppies, so you know what you're getting, but they are absolutely adorable. I've seen them kind of grow over the last few weeks, so it's been nice to go on that journey, but they will make amazing animal or pets for any household.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is David Rurka and Richard Mack with Home Hardware Building Center, Lloydminster. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, really glad to be able to have you both on here because the Playhouse raffle is back, and this is in support of local charities. So just want to start off with one of you explaining what exactly this raffle is all about, just for people that may be unaware.
Yeah, you bet. So Beaver Home and Cottage and Four Peaks Custom Homes is collaborating with their trade partners, and we built this Playhouse so that we can raffle it off. We're going to be taking sales and tickets up to the Laurie Craven Memorial Ball Tournament in August. And we're going to be donating all the proceeds to the Laurie Craven Tournament, as well as the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation. And we had the idea when we moved off our most recent show home that we had at the store, and we are going to be building our next show home, and we wanted to model this Playhouse to look like it and put it out in front and advertise and market it. And then once we start our new home construction, then we'll be moving the Playhouse around to different community events to raffle off the tickets and then do the donation at the Laurie Craven.
And can you expand on when ticket sales starts and when exactly it goes until?
So we're going to start sales immediately. We're just currently waiting on our lottery license. Once we have that secured, we're going to be having tickets available at Home Hardware Building Center, as well as taking them to different community events around Lloydminster and area up until August.
Now, for a little bit of a backstory in the history of this Playhouse raffle, when exactly did this idea start up to do this with Home Hardware Lloydminster?
Well, I actually had done a Playhouse very similar to this. It would be, 8-9 years ago, and we generated quite a bit of money off of it, and it was a really good donation to the Laurie Craven. So we just kind of, when our recent show home shipped out, we said, hey, why don't we do this the same idea and donate it to Laurie Craven and the Health Foundation, and we just kind of went from there.
Now, for those previous years, how was that support from residents? Did you get a strong response?
Absolutely. There was great support from the community, and especially at the event, there was a lot of people very interested in it. It went off really well, and it was a great tournament and a great way to get connect with local people, and it was awesome.
Well, I'm sure you'll be seeing some great support and that strong response once again for this year. Now, for more info about this raffle and just, finding out when the individual winner will be drawn, where can people look online?
They can go to our local website, hhloyd.com/BHC, and there will be information posted there. They can also come into the store, and there'll be information posted at all of our tills. Tickets will be raffled at $10 each, and the Playhouse currently is valued at around $10,000. So whoever wins it is going to be a pretty lucky individual. So
All right, perfect. And is there anything more that any of you want to add that I may have missed out on that you want to let people know about for this Playhouse raffle?
No, it'll be featured at the store for most of the time that it's not being taken to any other event. So come on down and take a look. It's got wood paneling inside and a floor system and pretty cool little upgrades for a little playhouse.
Well, I appreciate both of you giving us your time today and being able to help get the word out and help spread the word for this year's Playhouse raffle. I'm sure you'll be seeing a great response for this year. It's going to be a good one. So once again, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ending off with taking a quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be looking at that -2 tomorrow with a mixture of some sun and cloud. And then be prepared. We will be moving into those plus temperatures Thursday and Friday, starting off this long weekend. 1 degree Thursday, 4 degrees Friday, and then we will even be seeing that 6-degree mark for the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And also be prepared. We have some sunnier days ahead as it looks like. And as we head into next week, starting on Monday, beautiful temperatures with that 10-degree mark next Monday and 6 degrees next Tuesday.
Shelby, you are delivering. Thank you so much for that. Double digits, that's crazy. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow.